Welcome everyone, it's Neil here from 3D Tutor, back today with our latest flower and meadow geometry node. And you will have seen from the intro, this one is a bit of a game changer for sure. Just what you can actually do with this geometry node is quite simply amazing. Straight from the download pack, you can actually end up with a result like this, which not only looks really great, but actually can be put on any mesh that you have. And it gets better than that, it's actually fully optimizable as well. Now, before we jump into the geometry node and how to use it, don't forget our latest and I think our best course we have ever released will be out on Thursday. You can grab your pre-order and save yourself 60% off until next Thursday. Also, some of you may know Skillshare removed pretty much most of our courses about 6 months ago. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's been some struggle. So if you want to help us out, you can join our Patreon, which is one of the best in the industry. We offer over 30 courses available for free over there, every model we've just about ever produced, and of course, all of our geometry nodes. We also have 3 paid options for our supporters, and we really do appreciate the support. We really do try and give as much as possible to those of you helping us on our journey. But now, on with the show, and let's take a look at this amazing geometry node. Now you will find a link down below to this node where you can either recreate it yourself from the images provided, or if you're lazy like me, you can just purchase the node. I'll show you the full set up right here on YouTube as well as we go through the node. But first, let me show you what we can actually do with it. So first of all, let me show you the optimizations. We can have one which is completely grass. You can have one which has got some grass and leaves in it, or you can have one with grass and flowers. So obviously with the grass one, we can actually come into our geometry node and we can actually scale up how tall the actual grass is and make it more random if you want to. With the flowers, for instance, you can actually come in and scale up the stems, making the flowers much taller if you want to, and the same with the actual stems on these ones as well. So you can have a meadow pretty much any way that you actually want. So you can have something like this, and you can see just how quickly it actually generates each of these effects. Now, last of all, we've also put in there a viewport density and render density, which means for the viewport, if you're struggling to absolutely optimize this, you can actually turn this down to something like 25, which is going to drastically reduce the density within the viewport. You still know how it's actually going to look in the render, so the render density here, and you can also turn that down again if you're struggling to render it out. Now, let's actually go in and show you what else we can do with this. So if I come over to our monkey, Suzanne, and turn this back on, you can see at the moment we've got something like this. And what we can actually do, if we come over to Suzanne, we can actually increase the maximum surface angle, which means that we can actually now increase it to cover the entirety of Suzanne, or you can increase it so it's just the tops of her like so. Now, let me show you the best thing. So the best thing for any of your projects, let's just bring in a plane. And then what we'll do with this plane is we'll make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to then come in, use the knife tool. And what I'm going to do is just cut around like so. So this could be any one of your projects, for instance. Let's delete that out of the way. And now we just have a random piece of mesh. We haven't had to do anything like subdivide it or anything like that. And now we can basically come in, add a modifier, add geometry node, bring in our meadow geometry node, and hey presto, there you go. Simple as that. So any of your projects now, you'll be able to bring this in, drop it on, and then it'll just, you know, I can even animate it as you've seen in the beginning. What a fantastic node this is. So now, as I said, let's go over to the geometry node. Now in the download pack on our Gumroad, even before you actually pay for it, you will be able to find images of all this. So you'll be able to go in and actually create your own geometry node if you so please. So you can see this is the entire setup that we actually have. Obviously, if we were, showing you how we set this up on YouTube, it's going to take probably 7 or 8 hours or something. It's a big geometry node. Explaining everything would take a long time and probably, in all honesty, be a course in itself. So again, if you're lazy like me, just go and purchase it if you really want it. And if you really want to get into geometry nodes, then all of the details are here. How does it work exactly? It's all based on collections. You can see in all of these, we actually have collections. So we have a grass collection, a stem collection, a flower collection, and a leaf collection, which are all obviously painted stylized. So what you can do is you can add in your own grass if you want to, or your own flowers. It's really, really highly customizable. If we go back to modeling then, I'll also show you that over here is where all the flowers and plants are. So you can see these are all the flowers and plants we actually created, and it's really easy just to bring in your own. Finally then, the last thing you can do with this, if we bring in, let's say we bring in a Bezier curve, let's pull the curve over here, let it a bit bigger, and let's come in and actually bring up the depth of this curve to something like so. Let's drop on the geometry node on here then, like so. So Meadow geometry node. We can also as well come in, grab this curve, and just extrude it out and just keep making more of this actual meadow. So you see, it's really, really probably the best node we've actually ever done. And I'm really happy with how it actually turned out. So again, before we leave, don't forget down below, there will be a link to actually purchase a node. There'll also be a link there to actually see how we set this up. And of course, there'll be a link to our Patreon if you really want to help support us. All right, everyone, so I hope you enjoyed this node. If you liked it, give us a like down below. And if you want to drop a message down there as well, letting us know which nodes you're actually looking for or which ones you'd be really interested in, that would be great. All right, everyone, till the next one, happy modeling. Cheers.